Hello, and as you can see, today's episode is looking a little bit different. There's no studio, there's no lighting. It's just me outside enjoying this beautiful sunny day. I've just got back from walking my dogs, and it's interesting. I always tend to do some of the best thinking when I'm out in nature and when I'm moving my body. So I started thinking about some style habits that I've changed over the last couple of years that have really positively impacted the way I dress. And I came back from my walk from the beach and I just thought, actually, I'm going to turn the camera on and just start chatting to you guys. I think one of my doggies is kind of joining me here. Are you shy? Come on, up. Can you come up? Can you come up? He's a bit shy, but he does want to be with me. So I thought I'm just going to turn the camera on and share some of my thoughts. I hope I don't ramble too much, but just share some of the stuff that I've been thinking about this morning. And as I said, some of these habits have not only changed what I wear, but also how I feel in my clothes. And that's a really important part of fashion. You've got to, yes, you want to look a certain way, but I think more importantly, you want your clothes to make you feel a certain way and feel good about yourself. And that's what some of these changes have done for me. So I just wanted to share them with you because I'm thinking that some of these mindset shifts and changes may just help you too. I feel like I'm competing with one of our native birds over there. It's gone quiet. Oh, no. Can you hear that? It's almost like the birds are joining me, which is not a bad thing. They sound amazing. They're all kind of chirping and talking to each other, probably wondering what on earth is she doing out here talking to herself, but such is life. One of the style habits that I've changed that really does and has contributed to me finding it much easier to get dressed and choosing clothes and just everything fashion related is that I've basically given myself permission to evolve my style. And I do think what happens to a lot of us is it's all too easy to get caught in a little bit of a style rut and get caught in that trap of thinking we look a certain way. And perhaps it's our heyday. Perhaps it's a time where we did feel our most confident in our clothes, and we almost cling to that and forget to evolve with our life. And as our life unfolds and evolves, it's a bit of a tongue twister. But essentially, for me, my style has changed a lot in the last few years, and it's always evolving. And I think back to, say, in my 30s, my style looked very different because my lifestyle looked different. And in my 40s and my early 50s, and I think that one of the things that we mustn't forget to do is evolve or give ourselves that permission to evolve. We seem to almost feel like once we kind of nail down our style DNA, it's all too easy to sort of stick with that. But as our life evolves and changes, we must really apply some of those changes to our fashion choices as well. And sometimes we don't even think about it this simply. It's easy just to get caught up in life and the busyness of life, and it's important that we evolve with our life. So now what I really try and do is dress for the woman that I am today, not the woman that I was 5-10 years ago. It's who I am today, and that I find really freeing. And it's worth just thinking about what are some of the changes that have happened in your life that perhaps your fashion hasn't evolved and moved with those changes. Are there certain areas that, say, your job has changed and you're no longer working in an office and you work from home now, or your kids have grown up and left school, or your body's changed? What are some of those things that perhaps have changed, but you haven't evolved your style to match up to that? So think about dressing for who you are today, not who you once were, or even who you would like to be. It's about making sure that you make those fashion choices that work for you and your body and your lifestyle in the here and now. So maybe have a little bit of a think about that. And is that something that you're doing, or is that something that you're potentially overlooking, and that can actually hold you back in evolving your style and ultimately feeling good in the clothes that you wear. The next style habit that I have changed and I've focused on is letting go of the idea of trying to look perfect. And I think for women, there's so much pressure for us to be perfect just in general, whether it's the perfect partner, to have it appear that we've got everything perfect in our lives, the perfect mother, show up looking perfect and pulled together, even if life is feeling crazy and it's unraveling. And I think it's key to really let go of that whole idea of perfection. Not only is the whole idea of perfection or looking perfect exhausting, and it's something that I don't think you can really keep up, but it's also boring. And one thing that I've been doing for the last little while is sort of embracing the messy bits and the undone hair, and not feeling this undue pressure to look a certain way, because I think that there is an expectation on me that I have to look perfect or present a perfect persona to the world. I've let go of that, and I definitely think that that's really freeing, and something that we almost need to just give ourselves a little bit more grace and a little bit more freedom to be truly who we are and to be our authentic selves, as opposed to trying to marry up to some standard that is impossible to achieve, or it's just exhausting, and it's taking away from those messy bits in life and who we truly are. I think when we put less pressure on ourselves to be perfect, it shows to the world who we truly are. And it's about being, certainly for me, showing up as my authentic self. And there was a time where I would feel anxious, I suppose, if someone saw me outside the house not looking a certain way. I felt this incredible pressure to put on the appearance of what I wanted people to believe of me, as opposed to, like today, I'm just wearing a sweatshirt because it works for my lifestyle. I've been out walking the dogs. I'm feeling relaxed. I've hardly got any makeup on. I've got my hair in a ponytail. It's about being authentically me and not letting, I suppose, outside influences dictate that level of perfection that is just impossible to achieve. Now, the next style habit that I have changed, and this has been so freeing also, is making sure that I don't save some of my fashion pieces for that special occasion. So what I used to do was, I've always kind of valued my clothes and always felt really fortunate if I've had pieces that were a higher value or just more special to me. And so I would sort of keep them for best. And I think increasingly over the years, I've realized how important it is to wear those pieces. So what I did a few years back is I went and gave my closet a really serious audit. So I grabbed all of those pieces that I wasn't wearing regularly and just wasn't reaching for because they were special and I wanted to look after them. And I sort of put them into two camps. I had one pile where they were special, but the occasion to wear them was potentially never or not going to happen. So those were the pieces that I decided to donate, to give to friends, to essentially move out, because they were taking up space, causing confusion and clutter in my wardrobe, and they were pieces that just weren't serving me. Some of those special pieces that I thought I just can't let go of, I do love, I decided to wear them and incorporate them into my everyday outfits and be okay with that, instead of that sort of old-fashioned self of mine that I had to only keep them for best because I'd paid a certain amount of money for them or they had sentimental value. I decided now is the time to wear those pieces. We're not promised any future, and I think, you know, as I get older, I'm more and more aware of that. So if there are items in my closet that the old me would have put off wearing to keep them for best, I no longer do that. So think about some of the pieces that you perhaps own that you're not wearing regularly. Of course, some of them aren't going to be right for your lifestyle. Maybe they're evening pieces or whatever. But think about some of those pieces. If you're holding on to them because of a particular event or situation may arise, really, is it worth holding on to them and keeping them hanging in your wardrobe for years? Because generally, if you've got clothes that are hanging there that are right for you, you'll be able to put something together to work for that particular event. So think about some of those pieces. They do cause clutter and confusion and just make you end up having more clothes than you actually need. So I would definitely suggest stop saving those pieces and those clothes for something special. Stop saving them and just wear them and enjoy them, or gift them and move them out. Another style habit that I was thinking about on my walk was I've for years now had a bit of an outfit formula, and I know that this can make some of you probably feel like having a formula to your outfits and your clothes can be a little bit boring or a little bit predictable, but it's actually super handy to have what I like to call a bit of a style anchor. So it's a formula of pieces that I know I can easily put together in a hurry and I can feel a certain type of way. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to create an outfit from scratch. It's a formula that I know works for me, and I can swap out some of the pieces and I know that it's still all going to work, and most importantly, I'm going to feel good in those pieces. So I can't state enough how important it is to have your own outfit formula, especially for those times where you might be on a time crunch and you just need to get dressed and feel good in what you're wearing, but you don't have a whole lot of time to think about it. For me, my go-to fashion outfit over the last little while has been a great pair of jeans. I've got a couple of pairs that you've probably seen me wearing here on the channel that are wider leg and just a little bit more relaxed. And I've got a load of really fun t-shirts that I like wearing with them, and I will pop on a blazer over the top just to create a little bit more of a pull together outfit. And I generally always wear loafers or sneakers with them, and I can just change out any of those pieces, and I know that I've got an outfit that makes me feel like how I want to feel and look and show up these days, and an outfit that actually suits my lifestyle. So don't underestimate the power of having a good outfit formula or two that you can rely on. Another style habit that's really worked well for me is being acutely aware of the pieces that don't work for me. And there's a difference between liking something and liking it on other people and knowing full well that that's not going to be a piece that's right for you. So you can like something, but it doesn't necessarily like you back, whether it's a color that washes you out or a style that just doesn't work with your body type, or pieces that perhaps I've tried on in the past and I love the look of, but they don't sit quite right, so I'm constantly sort of tugging at my outfit and I can't relax. It's those sort of red flag pieces that are trouble, basically, and I have in the past bought them for all the wrong reasons because I've liked them on someone else, or they look good, but they look good when I'm standing and not moving in a changing room as opposed to just living my life. So I've identified some of these red flag pieces for me so that I don't fall into the trap of buying them and then never reaching for them because I know that I'm going to feel uncomfortable in them, or I'm tugging at them as I wear them, or they just don't make me feel the best version of myself. And I think making sure that I identify some of these pieces, and certainly especially it applies for certain colors that make me feel washed out and just not make me feel like the best version of myself. Knowing some of these red flag pieces has helped me avoid making some costly fashion mistakes. So it does make sense just to think about maybe some of the mistakes that you've made in the past, or some of the clothing items that you love but perhaps don't quite love you back in the same way, and making sure that they're on your red flag list so that you don't fall into the trap of buying them and wasting your money when you could have bought something that is going to make you look and feel fabulous. So those are 5 style habits that have very much changed the game for me, and not just in how I dress, but how I actually feel in my clothes. And as I said earlier, that's something that certainly at my age, I'm 58, I think that that is a really important factor for me. I need to look good in my clothes, but I also really importantly need to feel good. But I'd love to keep this chat going in the comments below. Are there any style changes or style lessons that you've learnt over the last few years that you can share? We have some great discussions in the comments, and I'd love to continue this chat on. And also let me know if you like this style of video. It's very much just a chatty kind of me sharing some of the things that I think about from time to time, but don't often decide to turn the camera on and film and share them with you. So let me know if you do like this style of video, because I like chatting to you guys, and sometimes I do just feel like turning on the camera and having a good old chat. So if you like this type of video, please let me know. But thanks for watching, and I will see you real soon. Bye.